Shalom, brethren. So, welcome to 18th Sunday of Ordinary Time Reflection. So, our theme today is Vanity of Vanities. So, today we reflect on the purpose of wealth. So, our readings from the first reading to the Gospel all have the same theme, that is vanity of vanities. So, when looking at the first reading, it describes vanity of vanities. So sometimes we see people lacking basic needs, then we think maybe it's because of their laziness or because they don't work hard. But our readings today ask us to forget how much we toiled to get what we have and share it with the needy. So in the second reading, St. Paul tells us to seek the things that are above, where Christ is, not the things that are on this earth, for all this is vanity. This is to teach us that we should not allow our desires of earthly things or earthly belongings take the position of Christ in our life. In the gospel, one of the multitude said to Jesus, "Teacher, bid my brother divide the inheritance with me." So, what does Jesus tell in response? So, in response, Jesus gives a parable of the rich fool to describe the purpose of wealth. So, the rich man's land yielded crops more than expected. So, he decides to tear down his barns and build larger ones that can sustain what he had in excess. So after storing all the food, he decided it is time now to come for him to marry and feast, not knowing that the Creator will come for his soul that night. So when we try to compare this with some other parables of Jesus, like the shepherd who finds the lost sheep rejoices with other villagers, we see the woman that finds the lost coin celebrating with her fellow females. So this is quite contrary when we see at the rich man. So with the rich man, he comes to conclusion that with so many that he has stored, he will have no worries, he'll have all of it for himself. He will now eat, drink, and have merry. It sounds like a great plan indeed, but he is gravely mistaken. I will conclude with a story from a Jesuit priest. So there is this man, he was a businessman, so he made huge profits. So he decides to put all the profit on his bedroom. So whenever he makes profit, he puts it on his bedroom. Every time he makes a profit, he puts it on his bedroom. So this man came and asked his lawyer to write a will. So his will was that he be buried with all his money, with all his wealth, because he might need it in the life after death. So the wish was granted. It was written. So the wife was given the will. So after that, since the wife had the will, so the wife didn't complain. He said, if this is what you want, then we'll grant as per your will. So when time came and the businessman died, what the wife did, she went, placed all the money from the bedroom to a bank account, then wrote a check of it, with the name of the husband, then buried the check on the day when the husband was to be buried. So the husband was being buried by the check. Then this lawyer came to the wife and asked the wife, "How full of you? Why have you buried him with all that money?" So the lady just gave a simple answer to the lawyer that I have deposited all the money to the bank and wrote for him a check. So if he finds a check in heaven, he will withdraw. or else all the money remains in my account. So the lawyer just laughed at the wiseness of this lady. So this is to show us that this check, there's nowhere this money is going to withdraw that check in heaven, because these are earthly possessions. So let's make sure that we don't say that wealth is bad, but the minute it takes the position of God, then that's where the whole thing comes in. So don't let wealth take the position of wealth, as all these are vanity. Thank you. So see you next time.